If you have one of the Ancore systems as part of your package, you can use the Ancore system as a way to provide dynamic unloading in the system versus the bungees that come with the system. So using the Ancore system provides a little more consistent amount of unloading and a little more variety as the amount of unloading that you can provide when you use this. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So here with the Ancore system mounted to our upright here, we're going to change position with that. So I'm going to unscrew the rack mount and take it off. I'm going to take my Ancore system in this kind of orientation and slide it down into this lower leg here in front of the eye bolt. So I'm going to slide it down close to the eye bolt, but just enough room that I can get access to the eye bolt, one hole in front of the eye bolt. I'm going to take my little screw here on the bottom and place it on the bottom and tighten that down securely so we have that anchored to the lower bottom there of the leg. Now I'm going to take my Kong and ascender device here, the rope holder device that currently is in a static position here, just providing static support. And we're going to change this to dynamic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my post anchor little gate here to open that, slide that off, reclose that. Now I've got my little rope clinch device here, this Kong device. Now I'm just going to pull out on the orange webbing and just slide it down, or you can just use your finger or thumb on the little cam cleat just so we can get down here and clip it in to our carabiner on the Ancore system here. Okay. Now I can adjust the height of the spreader bar here to whatever I think my patient's height is going to be when they stand up. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that up by pulling through the ascender here, just pulling that rope through to get it to where I think. And now I'm going to have my client. We could have our stability handles here if we needed to, or our bar in front, the push-pull bar to help with that if needed. But she's doing well, so go ahead and stand up for me. We're going to bring you in here, and we're going to clip you in. I need to lower this down just a little bit. So we're just going to release and lower that down, get you clipped in. So now that we've got that everything hooked up here, we've got this closed system here and hooked up to the Ancore, we're going to what we call preload the system. So in order to do that, right now there's no tension right now in the system here. We need to preload it with the amount of support we want. So you can choose the amount of plates that you want to add to the Ancore system. Right now we have a 10 and a 5, so that's 15 plus the unit is 5. So there's 20, but this is a 2-to-1 pulley, so that's double. So this is going to provide 40 pounds of body weight support. So in order to do that, what I just do is just take the end of the rope. I'm just going to pull up until I get some rope pulling out of there. So I have this preloaded and have the rope there, so now we can have that amount of distance to move when she does any kind of activity, squatting, walking on a treadmill, those kind of things. We've got it preloaded with the support there. We need to add one other thing though. In order right now, if she were to go down, there's nothing to stop her from going completely down. There's no tether or restriction here in the amount of movement. So go ahead and do a squat for me. So it'll just keep going and going all the way to the ground. So if we want to add a restriction here, we're going to use our daisy chain right here. And we're going to clip one end of the daisy chain into this carabiner here. And then the other end of the daisy chain, we're going to decide how much distance we want to give her to move. If it's just a small amount, I'm just going to make it pretty short, that distance. So I'm going to go ahead and clip it into one of these loops that's closer, and then clip that into my eye bolt behind the unit here. Now go ahead and do a squat, and then it's going to limit her that far before it stops. So this is your limiter. So you're going to want to add the daisy chain as a limiter, and then you can adjust the amount of unloading by adding or subtracting the amount of weight plates that you add to the Ancore device. Lastly, when you're ready to be done with doing your activity, in order to release the tension, so there's tension in the system right now, to release that tension, I simply like to grab the orange webbing and grab the end of the rope here and just lift up like this, and that brings that cam cleat. Now just hold that cam cleat up and just slowly feed the rope in to lower it down. So as opposed to just, if you didn't do that and you pulled on this, it would kind of do it a little bit more rapidly. It's not a danger to do that, but you just want to be careful when you're doing that. So just again, once there's tension in the system, lift up on the rope and the orange webbing at the same time, and then just keep that orange webbing in your finger and just release the rope slowly into the system.